So as we find, places that are, oh, ouch, even, right? Can we find the gratitude for those? For just the sheer wonder of the fact that, okay, if I push down, I want you to find a place that's really tender and pause. Our tendency is to run away from that. So I have, and I will put this out because I want whoever watches this to know that I believe in my Savior Jesus Christ. But I was listening to a podcast about the crucifixion and how in our culture we talk about Gethsemane and we talk about the resurrection. We don't often talk about the pain. And I've thought about it before, but it was just a little bit more profound as I thought about the Saturday for Jesus's disciples and the people that lived on earth. They were like, now what? We've lived 3 years, we've done this, and now what? And I remember, I remember thinking those thoughts before, but for whatever reason, it was so profound. I was just thinking of this Saturday of, what do I do? It's been 3 years, it's been this, it's been whatever it is, and I was able to equate in the study that I did this week about some of those Saturday moments we have in our lives. And I think about, some of the things my kids are going through, and it's like right now, this is one of those Saturday moments. And do we step into a Saturday moment, turn and run? Or are we able to stay? And what is that staying power? So anyway, that's just kind of, to me, the staying power is the gratitude I feel for a Savior who was willing to do that. And having that personal relationship with Him is what keeps me. And so, and we all have to have our own. We learned a lot of that in conferences. So go ahead and move to another place and find another, maybe on the other foot. Roll for a moment, find another place that you want to turn and run, but you're not going to. You're going to find that moment of just, oh, it's a Saturday moment. And this is a very minute example. But I thought, just as this has been going on this week in my study, I've thought of my hip and my pain. And how that pain I feel it often when I move. If I could sit all day like this, I don't feel it at all. It's when I have to come out and go like that and then move. But we can't just sit like that all day, And so can I have my Saturday moment and still find gratitude?
That's so amazing that you're saying this. Bishop Reed spoke Sunday and he talked about Saturdays.
Saturday moment.
The Saturday moments between Sunday.
Really?
Call it Holy Saturdays.
Yeah.
Those painful Holy Saturdays.
Yeah.
Where does the term Saturday moments mean? Where does it come from?
I don't know. I'm just equating it to that because the Savior was crucified on Friday and then Saturday and then was resurrected Sunday morning. That's where okay. So,
where he got it, but that's
Yeah.
exactly what he's like. How do we get through this?
how do we get? And we need to. And we can't do it on your experiences or yours. Although I'm sure they're wonderful. One of the things that used to annoy me, and I was my mom's oldest, and can you just imagine somebody with my brain and the way I think and questioning and stuff with a mom that's her first child and she never questioned anything. And so, I was hard. I was not easy. But I just remember her saying, just believe what I believe. And I was like, no, that's not enough, you know? And she was just like, I don't know what to do. So go ahead, put your balls away. Grab your purple strap. Okay, so we're working on mobility. And I don't know when they're gonna start it, but I'm signed up for a mobility training. And I'm way excited. It's just online, but it is an 8-month course. So it's going to be extensive, and we'll go into really specific detail. And you know that I've done an awful lot already, but I just felt prompted, you know, oh, this is what I need to do, and now we're on hold. And I'm hoping that it will come pretty quick. So, shoulders. Okay, let's go ahead and just start. Just holding that in your lap. Close your eyes and just start moving your neck around. Now, if you find a place that's like, oh, please stop. Now, don't crank it, right? But just kind of gently stay, breathe. And we're going to take this Saturday moment, this moment of just taking our thought to where that is and expressing gratitude. The minute I did this in my life, because you have to know that when you dance, okay, go ahead and keep moving. Everything's about how you look in a costume on stage. And they want the thin, wispy, short, tiny little girls they can lift up in the air. The guys didn't want to lift me. I don't know why. I mean, you know. I'm rock solid, and I have muscle, right? And University of Utah, doing the ballet, I had a scholarship there my freshman year. And every day you walked into technique class, you stood on the scale and took your weight. And that was 25% of your grade. Mine's always been up there. I'm not fat. But that's,
You're solid.
and I muscle. And I hated that. They always would put me on the back row with the leapers and the movers. I was rarely on the front row with the little ones doing it. So anyway, I hated it. I couldn't see the good in my body. I couldn't see the beauty in it. And it was years. I remember it was my my first daughter getting married. And I was at the doctor's with her, and he was talking about just our monthly cycles and how she could stop it with pills, that they could do that. And I'm sitting there going, you're gonna mess with what God created. What are you thinking? You know, so those are just some of my ideas, okay? So we're gonna look for this in our body. Enough said. So if I say Saturday moment, pause, feel gratitude, that's kind of where I want you to go with this. Go ahead and start moving a little bit more. And then you're just gonna grab this, it's gonna come up. You're just holding on, and you're just gonna go back, bend your elbows, bring it behind, take it back up, and bring it back down. And take it up, and bend. And bring it back up. Now, we're gonna add a little bit to it because we can do this. Go ahead and take it up. As you bend your elbow, pull the elbow towards the waistline. So instead of just a bend, it's a whoa, draw down and notice the difference. And then bring it back up and bring it forward. Oh, you got a loop in yours.
Not anymore.
Not anymore. What is Gilbert doing over there? Okay, so you're just, ooh, that elbow pull down, back up and over, okay? We're gonna add on just a little bit of this, okay? Let your hands get a little wider as you go. Okay, this, you may have to move your knees out of the way a little bit if you are hitting them, okay? We usually do this standing, we could, but we chose to sit. And then take it up like this, it's still wide, and go over to the side. Now, as you go over to the side, then you take this right elbow and pull it down. Yeah. And then come back up, and this elbow pulls down, and you feel that stretch into the shoulder, into the side body. And then go ahead and hold this, okay? You might feel your shoulders start kind of going, huh, I'm burning, right? If you wait, so that's the Saturday moments. Kind of just like, and they're not really Saturday moments, because Saturday moments are the moments where it's like, what's happening? Why? And come all the way back up and come to the other side. So the elbow is pulling towards the waistline, okay? And it's pulling there, and this strap doesn't stretch and move, so we're isolating. And find that burn, because we can do that. Let it burn, and then gently release. Pause and just roll through the shoulders. Ooh. So when you pull your shoulders, after you've done that, when you pull them like this, can you feel that you've done that work, right? And it's just amazing. So hold them together. My sister did some physical therapy, and they wanted her to try and squeeze a quarter between her shoulder blades, okay? But the problem with that is if I do just the shoulder blade, then I narrow it. So I want you to do the shoulder blade, keep the bottom part of it, widen the top part of it. So you're still feeling the pull back in between the bottom of the shoulder blades, but the top of the shoulder blade, and you'll actually feel that pull down, okay? And then tuck your chin. Lift and take a deep inhale into your chest, and let it fall. The next breath, deep into your chest, audible exhale. And you don't have to do it at the same time. One more of each. The inhale is deep. Exhale is not audible. Inhale is deep. Audible. Notice what happens to the back muscles. So go ahead and release. Okay, that audible exhale is one that will release tension.
Can anybody really hold the cord between the shoulder blades?
The quarter.
Yes.
Can I?
No.
Probably not quite. I don't think so. But that was
That's what you're trying to do.
that's what you're trying to do. So we're hoping to get to the point, I don't know if we're there yet, where we can have total, without bent elbows. So stand up, give it a try, okay? This with a broomstick, just don't irritate, right? Come, and if you don't, you feel how hard that is right there to come back up and over, and then roll through those shoulders, okay? So we're looking for that dexterity. Yeah, yes, I see you doing, it's just like you want to come in and do that backstroke, okay? We want to do the backstroke, shorten it up a little, maybe 3-4 feet, okay? Maybe a little shorter if you got shorter arms, okay? So you're just going to come here, and it's like you're backstroking. So take one arm back, and then the other arm's going back. You can bend an elbow down in between, okay? That, as we do this, is really working the back. Okay? The other thing you'll notice, and I'm going to do it from the side here, if your strap and stuff might be flipping around, it's okay. Okay, is here, what we want to do is poke all this out. We don't want to do that though, okay? So you're going to try, and as you're pulling and you feel that, you'll feel it start to back bend, okay? I want you to try and pull the rib cage towards your back. So I'm trying to pull this back while I'm doing this work that pushes it forward. So that's that opposition, okay? And then release. Woo! Feel those shoulders. Let's sit, and we'll do a couple more things. But so we've got big. They're probably they don't need to be longer than like 5 feet, but they might be about 6 foot sticks that are coming that we'll be able to do. And this works. That's really nice, and you can also use it for balance. So Go ahead, let's do eagle arms. Bring right arm underneath, elbow to elbow, wrap it up, and again, if you're grabbing here, you're here, okay? This work will start to increase your ability to come closer and closer. So if you can, do here and keep your wrists straight, totally fine. The elbows lift. Just looked in there, I'm wearing a white top, and I'm on a white wall. Let's just move that hat over to the side. There you go. Now I'm behind that. Okay, so you really are trying to lift the elbows, move the hands away from the face. That's the kind of hard. And then pull the shoulder blades down the back. You're just depressing those shoulder blades. And you're still trying to lift the elbows. That lift elbow, depressed shoulder blades is the opposition. We're kind of always trying to find that. As the hands move away from the face, go ahead and tuck your chin. Tuck it as low as you can go. And you're going to feel that stretch, that work. It's one of the best stretches for the shoulder. And then when you're coming out, you just pull the hands back in towards you, drop the elbow and uncross. And then please look through the neck. Find some places. Will you take your right ear towards the right shoulder? And then you're just going to nod the head. We've kind of done this before, like the shoulder comes in, and then it's like the ear's pouring out water, and the shoulder comes in, and the ear pours out water. So we're just lifting that chin, and then come back to center and just pause for a moment. Notice what you feel, and then let a sense of gratitude kind of bubble up from inside. And then go ahead and go to the other side. You'll feel tighter, and it's okay. And then find that, dip the chin, ear pour out, dip the chin, ear pour out, dip the chin, pour out with the ear, dip the chin, one more, pour out with the ear, and then come on up, take that left arm out. It's gonna come underneath. So you're just crossing a different elbow underneath every time. You might find, oh, this one's tighter. It's okay. If you're here, you're just pulling the hands towards each other. There's a pressure, even if they don't move, you're pulling them together, right? You're finding that. And then the elbows come up, and the hands move away from the face, the shoulders come down the back, and then tuck your chin. Elbows are lifting while the shoulders are depressing. Our hands are moving up while the chin moves down. Take a couple of breaths into that stretch and gently release. Hands in, right, shoulders down. Okay, tuck your chin. You're not going to push down on your head, but just push your hands here, giving a little bit of extra weight. Go ahead and lift the chin. See if you can find, like your ball is going right under there, and you're pushing down, and then just put the weight, but feel the push of the chin. It's pulling down. You're not pushing on your head, it's just hands weighted. We never want to do that. Go ahead and take the hands, fingertips to the side of the head, take an ear to one side, and then you're just going to move the hands into twisting up. You'll feel it through the shoulder and come all the way back. Tuck your chin, lift the chin, and twist the other way. And come back. One more each side. Tuck the chin, lift the chin, turn. You can look up if you want, but feel this elbow reaching and a stretch through the front side of that shoulder, even into the armpit. And tuck your chin, lift it. Hands are there, open. As that elbow reaches that way, just find that stretch and that give and release. So our deltoid, our shoulder muscle, it's made up of an anterior piece, a medial piece, and a posterior piece. Which one did we just work? Yeah, that anterior, that front piece, okay? We also worked this one a little bit. You feel much going on back here? That's the part that's the very hardest, okay? So, grab the strap. Okay. So, to engage that shoulder, right? If my shoulders are rolling forward like this, that is expanded to its max. So I want to pull it back, and I actually have to turn the hand out and pull the elbow in. Okay, then I'm actually contracting the posterior side of the deltoid, but not until. So that's kind of where we're going with this one. Go ahead and take the strap. You're going to turn over. We're going to isolate one, but you're going to have some room. Turn over. Okay, you can hold on, but you really will have to probably grip it and turn it palm up. So I've got this strap over the, yeah, you got it. Elbow in to the waistline, okay? Holding on to this, you're just gonna like a hitchhiker. Boom, boom. Just pulling it. You're gonna feel this in your back as well, but I'm hoping you feel it on the back side of that shoulder, right? Okay? See if you can get your palm facing up, not forward. Hitchhikers like this, and then hold, okay? In this hold, I want you to try and pull the straps away from each other. This is a moment where I just, in sheer wonder, kind of go, oh my gosh, all I have to do is pull that away for that muscle to get some work, and release, go ahead and roll, feel that work. Now, if you find shoulders to something and you're like, oh, yeah, then we're doing this, right? You're just finding some momentum, okay? If it's achy all day long, I need to know. Reach out and text, because I need to kind of go, no, that was too much. Okay, that's where I want you to go. If tonight, tomorrow, you're like, oh, yeah. We want that strength, and honestly, upper arm strength is the hardest thing to do as we age, because you're not down doing push-ups. And I had the thought before I left on my trip that it's been a long time since we've done mobility in the shoulders, but we haven't really tried to strengthen them. Hence today's class. Ready? Okay, out to this side. Take it, thumb, reach it over, and then stretch, and then you hold. Elbow pulls in. Now, the minute I pull in, I realize I've gone too far. So you might need to shorten it, okay? Squeeze the shoulder blade down. It depresses and squeezes back so that I can really engage, because I'm using the back too, okay? And then you're just hitchhiking back. Hey, pick me up. I actually saw a car pull over and pick up a hitchhiker the other day, and I was like, you dare do that? I had a grandfather that used to bring him home for dinner all the time. My mom grew up in a family of 9 children, and then bring them in. Like,
During the days of the Depression,
oh, it's very common. And then hold it back. Notice this one might not ache as fast. Try not to be here. Try to be here. Okay? You're squeezing the shoulder blade together as well as pulling that back. Okay? And this is the resistance. See if you can try to feel the hands pulling away from each other. For me, that's what really isolates into that muscle and gets that muscle. We've just got a few more seconds to hold. Breathe and release. Okay? Yeah. Yeah. Is that too much? I don't know. Okay. I do want to know if it's too much. Okay. Go ahead, and you're going to take an arm. See if you can bring it behind your head. Maybe you can bring it down to where the hand is here. Okay. If you can't, it's okay. But you're going to try and just push the head back. You're stretching again. Stretching through here. So my head is pushing right into my forearm. Maybe if down here is, you can go like this, because that way you can still get a stretch. Sorry, I should have figured that one out sooner. Sometimes I get moving my body and I'm like, oh yeah, I get this now. So finding that stretch, go ahead and open. Same thing happens that we were doing when we were doing our backstroke. It tends to open and back bend us. Pull this back. Feel as if there's a corset on, the strings are being tightened behind you. It's one of the best things you can do for your overall core. And then gently pull that elbow down and roll through. That should feel a little bit better, but can you feel, just pause. Can you feel this arm, this shoulder saying, aren't you gonna do me? If we could really pay attention, our spirit knows exactly what our body needs. We just have to listen, okay? Go ahead and come up. Whether you're down here, whether you're here, your head can push into the arm and you're just pulling the elbow and the head is pushing back, okay? So I'm not really trying to pull the shoulder back. I'm trying to push the head into, which is gonna move a little bit differently, okay? Find that back bend start to happen and then pull down the ribs. So all of this is counter to the opening through the heart. The body has a whole series of safety mechanisms. If you use this muscle, the opposing muscle, then you won't overuse the muscle you're working. So here, okay, what is working, yes, you get a nice stretch here, but you get a back bend, which means that the back is contracting this way so that you can move forward, okay, as you push the head back. And then you pull this down, which lessens the back bend and tightens all the way around the core. This also, which is so amazing, there's a muscle that attaches to the ribs and comes up and attaches here, okay? So when I pull those ribs back, I'm also finding that. And so it's just this incredible. Go ahead, can you feel how your back's working now? Go ahead and round forward and kind of go, oh, whoa, when did I work my back? And then find some cat-cow. Just curl as tight as you can. I really try to feel as if something's pulling my back, and I'm rounding forward. I even tuck my tailbone and then chin. And I really try to create the letter C with my spine. Okay, I love to do this one where I have got a hold. In fact, let me come and hold on. I'll hold on to someone or to something and do that. But let me come and I'll do each one. Come on, you can sit. Oh. Round, go back, pull back. Do you feel that difference of me? Sit down, sit. Yeah, make yourself, make your bum heavy, make your bum heavy. Is that too much? That's good. And that feel, that's a little extra stretch, right? Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So, you got somebody at home that might help you out with that. I know all of you do. But sometimes you have people that don't push down. So, just is that okay? Yeah, it makes you, so really, our whole body can do that, okay? If you don't have somebody there, grab your hands on the bottom of the table or a counter and pull back, bend your knees and just get as tight as you can, okay? We don't want to stay here, but we want that range of motion, and this is part of it, okay? All right, we're grabbing straps again. Okay, we're gonna do some side body stuff. This time the arms, they'll be just out here. If your arms get tired, we've done a lot of arm work. You can let your arms come down, okay? So you're just gonna kind of go over to the side and over to the side, okay? For whatever reason, I find when I use a strap or a pole to do this, I can get, okay? So you're just finding that side bend, and stop, right? And then come in and just do the circles, okay? You can feel that we've worked that core. regular abs. Does your back hurt?
Right, kind of here, it doesn't hurt, but
When you get there, you're just kind of like, ooh. Yeah. So find that place. That would be a great place to take the ball against the wall.
okay.
So my ball in my car, my one at home is in a knee high now. So that I can go like this and find where it needs to go and not lose it down over and over. Or in the car when I'm driving. Okay, reverse that circle. Okay. We're gonna do just a little bit different. Notice where it goes different, okay? So you're just gonna, and I'm maybe 3 feet, just barely wider than my hips sitting down, okay? You're gonna go over to the side like this, okay? Now, we're gonna kind of go back arm, lift back arm, up, lift front arm, forward, lift back arm, up, lift front arm, forward. Okay, notice what your feet are doing. Mine love to do this.
Yes.
Yeah, push down on that inner edge. Forward. Yeah, push back. One more. Down and back and come back in. Woo! Can you feel the heat you're generating? It's like I'm getting hot. That's what our core can do. Okay, so wiggle a little bit because we got another side to do. Okay, did you notice this? We do that. This is the opposition, is pushing down there. Okay, we're just, and what Michelle just did, beautiful, Michelle, you should teach this class. She just did this.
Keep my knees
Yeah, then the knees aren't doing all this, which is, there's nothing really wrong with you doing that. But grab that block if you like, okay? Okay, about 3 feet again. And then here we go. We're going up and over to this side. So this one goes here, this back. This one goes here, this one goes back. Notice that as we lift the arm, right, and this one goes back. And you know what, Gilbert, I was just thinking, come on the way back up, let's try something. Take your, are you getting bonked with the strap? I am too. Let's
Yeah, to
double it. We're not gonna get bonked. Okay. The brain can still think. If you've got a loop in it, it's okay.
It's good.
Yeah, okay. So here, right, same thing. We got a few more there, and you won't get lost. Oh, we're genius. And there, and palm, right, and stretch. Last one, and up, and then come, okay, and go ahead, we're done with the straps. We may do a little bit on the floor. Go ahead and take a twist. Just twisting side to side. Okay, this is part of the movement we lose the most. Okay, and sitting in a chair, we can access to here, but we don't go below. So, I want you to plant the foot. This knee is gonna move forward more. Okay, so I'm sitting kind of on an angle on my chair. Then I'm gonna take here. Would you grab the block? Let's put it in here because I don't want your knees to come together. But this one's ahead, like a good 2 inches, okay? You're twisting the opposite way. Hand on thigh, hand on chair. Remember the shoulder up and around. Whichever leg knee is forward, you're twisting the opposite way. There you go. Because, okay, when I sit here and I twist, I'm twisting at the waistline. When I move this forward, I'm twisting all the way down into the sit bone. Both are fine. Okay, this is just a little deeper and we're trying to access. I know that's a little awkward, okay? Pulling the shoulder back, go ahead and lengthen up as tall as you can. Feel like someone's hands are underneath your armpits and they're lengthening, and then at the same time push down into the chair, make your rear end heavier. So feel this tighten and just find the twist. Now, the very last thing is the head, and you don't crank it clear over the shoulder. It's really just going at a 45 degree. So finding that stretch, hold. Now, would you come down, tuck your tailbone a little, and come back up? and come down. That should feel pretty good. And come back up and come down and come up and release.
Oh, these are really good for the,
Oh, yeah.
or if
So,
I have to remember to hold it in. though.
well,
That's
it is, but it's one of the very best things we can do. So let's take a stretch. This is what we just worked a lot of, both of them. Okay, put a forearm on your thigh. Take this one over and let it hang, tuck your chin. Now pull down with that opposite hip. So it's this hip. So we're leaning over with our left arm to the right. You're pulling down with that left hip. For on the video, that doesn't work, but you can do it that way, but you'll go in the other direction, and it's okay. And then come all the way back up. And move. Let the movement be not just the shoulders, be the whole spine, okay? Here we go to the other side. But I love to stop in between. It's some of this gratitude and kind of go, oh yeah, my body's saying, you didn't do this side. So go ahead. So when I'm teaching, oftentimes when we're doing a flow, which is moving from one breath to the next, one pose, find that give, right? Shoulder up and over, hand here, and just finally revolve. If I'm doing class, I never, if I'm just doing my own practice and I'm in a class, I always know what we didn't do on the one side, on the other side. If I'm teaching and come in and out of doing to watch and to help, I'll miss. It's kind of an amazing thing to me. Is that getting your hip, Charlie Horson? Ooh, just wiggle, perfect. We're gonna work our hips in just a minute. Okay, go ahead, find a little bit of this cat-cowing. And then sit up. Find somebody's hands under your armpits, lifting you a little taller. Push down, make yourself heavy into your chair. But it's not the whole spine, right? The rest of the spine is trying to lift away, tighten the waistline. Yeah, then release. Beautifully done. Okay, forearm on this side. Take it, just let it hang. You don't have to keep it there, you can put it anywhere, but I like that little extra. And then push down with that opposite hip. Oh, be gentle. You can pull a muscle here really easily. You ever had that and come on out where you're kind of like, oh, I just can't, this hurts right here, no matter what I do. And it's just in the same place. And more than likely you've done something where you've maybe pulled a little muscle. So I want you to try this. I don't know if we've done this on the wall, but I want you to take this, see if you can push it back. Let me turn sideways. See if you can push it back here. You're gonna sit back. Let it come to where it's gonna be kind of towards the low back. And that's kind of the work you've done. Put it on one side of the vertebrae and just sit back. And then just a gentle little side to side. Okay, now for me, I feel that there, but right over here, there's a muscle called the quadratus lumborum that attaches the ribs to the hip on the side. It's for this. Okay, I go to here and I'm like, oh yeah. So you can go a little bit further. My ball is almost to my hip, and you're just kind of like, ooh. So I'm doing a little bit of a twist in the chair, finding, okay? And you can go down deeper. I love this one on my sacrum. Okay, the sacrum, right, is pretty much from the top of the hip down on the spine. So I love to go on each side. Now I will do this on the floor. I'm trying to create things that we can do not on the floor, because sometimes getting on the floor is like so difficult. Okay, go ahead and do the other side. Start up at the top. This is what we've just been working in our twisting. Find that. Notice I'm here at first, actually coming over. Well, that's not till I go lower. Go ahead and lower it down a little bit. Ooh, find that place. Ooh, ow. So it's like, how could that be, right? And then go ahead and maybe when you get over to the side, you'll feel that quadratus lumborum muscle on the side, you can move it down again. I just remember, what was her name? Sue, but I can't remember. I did just a training that was fascia release with balls. Amazing. That's what we're doing. We're releasing some of the tightnesses. Go ahead and move it down to your sacrum if you want it. So, if you're doing, are you doing pigeon on your backs regularly? Pigeon is this.
Yes.
You're doing that on your back to stretch. This underneath this leg that's bent on the sacrum. On the other side. This on here, while you're here, this hip comes down, you get a little deeper stretch in the hip. Does that make sense? Okay. But you can do it with a blanket, you don't have to have the ball. Come on. Loose your ball for a moment and come back to your chair. Okay. I think we might have to stop ending right at 9, which I've been trying to do anyway. Go ahead and just start wiggling. Roll hip circles. Okay. Now, if that is way intense, use your hand to help. Okay. You're going for motion, range of motion. Now, notice we're doing all of this. See if you can do this. Oh, and back up and over and up and cross it across. Because that's some of the movement we want to. Go ahead and this time, see if you can lift here and come back and come up and here, right? And come back and come up. Go ahead and take the knee this time. Ooh, you'll have to lean and come back and release. Take it out. Now, can you feel that you've worked your quadricep muscle? Okay, a little bit of a burn there. We're going to reverse that. Okay, it's going to come up. We're going to twist it in. We're going to drop it. So it's the knee. It's dropping straight down. Okay, and then you're going to try and lift and bring it back. Cross it first, then come and drop the knee. Let it hang. And then hit that foot. Notice the foot is moving out to the side. That's an internal rotation of that leg. You can totally use your toes if you want. And then you're lifting, but you're kind of coming back up. So what you're basically doing is taking this to here. So we're moving it back behind us, right? We did this balance work the other day. Okay, but we're going to try and do it in a chair. And I found actually that this movement here is really beneficial. I'm feeling a bigger rotation here on the chair than I did standing. Okay, so rotate it down, and then it's coming back up and around, and then come back, shake it out. So other side, just moving in and out, around, using, if the hip hurts, right, use some help. Doesn't matter if one side is weaker. Okay, that's that moment of gratitude again. Not, oh my gosh, I can't do anything with this hip. Okay, here we go for the across the body here. Take it back. This is the part that is hard. And take it back. It catches. It's hard. And take it back. Now take it up this way. That feels like heaven to me. Take it back. And for others, you're like, heaven? How can that be heaven? And come up, over. And then one more of up and over. You should be feeling a little bit of a burn. Come back, and down. Shake it out. Woo! Who thought we could work our legs from seated chair? What was it, about a year ago? I'm like, we need to work our legs better while we're sitting. Okay. Here we go, opposite direction, right? You're gonna come in first. Okay, come out, drop that knee down. Foot is trying to reach out. You can totally put the toes down. And that rotation. And then you're going to change it to this rotation and come back in. One more, or a couple more. Down, drop, and up, and over. Across, and drop. Really trying to pull the leg, the whole leg rotating. And up. Last one. Cross. Woo. And pull. And back up. And in and shake it up. Okay. Bring this one up. Take the knee wide. Hold here. Cross it over. Flex the foot. Okay. Find yourself pushing down into the foot, pushing down into the sit bones, and raising up. To me, just doing that is a stretch, yes? And then you're just gonna, you're not this. You're keeping the body straight, lifted, and you're just waiting. It's like high. Keeping that body straight. Just come in and out. Use your breath. Close your eyes. Feel the sensation. Would you let that, we're on the right hip. Would you let the right hip pull down but make your body go left? Oh, whoa. How? And still move forward and back. Forward and back. Forward. Hold. Forward. Go ahead and just wobble the knee. We're never pushing that knee wider, but we're wobbling into that stretch, okay? See if you can do this if your knees will allow. See if you can bring it up a little bit more so that now you're just bringing the foot up. So you're bending your knee deeper, okay? For some of you, that's gonna be tough, okay? Now, all we're doing is wobbling. Okay? What this is just a little bit different muscle than what we were doing with the wide. And then go ahead and pull the knee into your chest and come up. Hold on here. If it's easier, hold on here. Whichever is best for you. And you can totally do like Michelle's done and do here if you want to do that. Okay? Range of motion here. Pull back into your body. You can come back into the chair and lean here. Okay? Stretch that other heel long. Look what we're trying to recreate. We do this on the floor all the time in yoga class. Take the knee in, take it out. Bring it in, take it out. Bring it in, and while you're doing it, we might as well do it. But if you notice, we stopped. It's hard sometimes to do two things at once. Patting the head, rubbing the tummy, and release, and bring it down. Beautifully done. Okay, bring it up. Take the knee wide. So notice what we're doing as we come into this pose. Normally we just come in, okay? Now we're gonna create some space, hold on to the shin, bring it up and across, creating a little bit more room. Is this a no side? Flexing the foot, okay? Lengthening up, and you're just gonna lean. There's that wave. It's just a gentle wave. You're just moving a little forward. I'm not rounding. I'm trying to stay as flat, as straight, normal, natural spine as possible. Go ahead and hold. Whoops, come back first. Push this down. Lean a little here and keep going. Oh yeah. You just have to know the excitement that bubbles up when I do that and feel the difference in that hip. I'm like, but I moved this. Yeah, and come back, you're gonna hold. Take some breaths. To me, these holds, those are your Saturday moments. You're like, how long is she gonna make us hold this? You have a moment where you're like, what? I don't get it. And then come back up, right? And just wobble that leg. Ooh. Then you're gonna see if you can hold the foot up higher. I've not changed one thing here. I'm just gonna do this. It gets in a little deeper into the hip flexor muscle. Okay, you can feel that be a little different. This is movement I have to do every, well, probably 5 or 6 times a day. This is the opposite of my turn in, and that's where I have to have that. And then go ahead and bring it in. Here, whatever's, if something's bugging, like your hip, you can come out. and not do it quite as deep, but pull it in, lean back, stretch it, and then just find some movement side to side. When we lean back like this, we're actually releasing. This is coming along on our hip flexor here while we're working into this one, okay? It just is a little different. And then come all the way down and wiggle. How are we doing? Go ahead and come on to the floor. It's time. Start with your knees bent doing windshield wipers, but bring your bolster handy. They fixed the lights in here. They were so proud of themselves, but I'm like, oh, it's right. Yeah, all the way down, windshield wipers, right? On your back, knees bent, feet planted, legs going side to side. You're not in the Texas downpour. We're not how it was going the other day when it was just pouring. Okay, we're just moving side to side, and our breath is what we're moving with. The inhale brings the knees up. The exhale brings them down. The inhale brings them up. The exhale brings them down. So we're just finding that movement. And then would you take your head opposite the knees? I always start with the knees and then start working into the head. I like better my shoulders when my palms are facing up. They don't have to be straight out from the shoulders. They can be a little lower. Really try to be so comfortable. Okay, next time the knees are up, pause. Will you just pull the right knee into your chest? You can hold on to the back of the thigh. Find that stretch. Will you slide that other heel long? Take a little bit more movement. Back in and plant foot down. And come back to your windshield wipers. Moving side to side. Notice that often we're doing some work in between the time that we do one side and the other. Next time the knees are up at the top, stop. Hug that left leg in. Holding onto the shin, holding on below the thigh. Find some movement. Flex the other leg, the one that's not bent, and extend it long. And maybe a little movement side to side, and then pull that foot back in and plant. One more round of 5 windshield wipers to each side. Fabulous work. And then go ahead, and the next time you're at the right, you just leave and let them go all the way to the floor. And hold, or as close. And you can pull the knees closer into your chest if that's more comfortable. It'll give you a little deeper twist. If it's not, then don't hold it. You don't just stay into discomfort. And then go ahead and up and over to the other side. And stay. And then grab your bolster. I'll come help. It's going to go underneath your knees. Kind of just to where you want them. How's that feel? I'm getting a little further forward. I want you to release the low back, yes. Mm-hmm. Do you remember when you guys had to have a blanket underneath? Keep going a bit more. Yeah, just a little lower. Yeah, does that feel a little bit more release on the low back? Beautifully done. Let everything pause. This is your time. You might, for just a moment, think about a Saturday in your life. One of those
Saturday moments.
And then go ahead and start wiggling. Breathing deeply, paying attention.
Wasn't very long, but that's okay. We probably some days will do a little longer ones, but today we need to be done. And then when you're ready, take a deep inhale and audible exhale. Let it all go. Do another one of those. Just a huge release. Physically letting the body have that moment. And then work your way onto your side, bend your knees, kick your bolster away. Have a great week. Bye.